shaking, everybody? It's your boy King of the Golden State coming at you with a film review. Film review of, you've guessed it, Zack Snyder's Justice League. And before I go any further, guys, I just want to say a few things. Be sure to hit the thumbs up. Also comment down below. Also subscribe if you haven't, subscribed. It'd be great to have you on board. So, and also a couple other things before I even go into my review. Not only I'm a Marvel fan, which I am, I'm also a DC fan. And I always treat those like my children. I want them both to do great. That's always been my goal when it comes to being a fan of DC. I'm not going to go into my whole resume about what I've read or what I've seen, but I always want them to be successful. And not only that, I'm also a big film buff too. I'm bigger than a comic book fan. I'm a bigger film buff. So I look in film when it comes to what's been done right and why this was done this way or that way and so forth. So to review Zack Snyder's Justice League, just keep that in mind. I loved it just flat out. I'm gonna tell you right now, Zack Snyder's Justice League was far and beyond better than Joss Whedon's Justice League. Because he came in back in 2017 after the apparent suicide of Zack Snyder's daughter, and that was terrible. I like I said, I love this movie flat out. I'm gonna tell you, better than Joss Whedon's Justice League, with some parts that really thought, I was going through the movie, I was thinking, man, that was kind of a letdown after all that. So, of course, back in May 2020, they announced that this was being put together, but prior to that, they were talking about releasing Snyder Cut for a couple months prior to that, not years, months prior to this going in production. This was announced back in May of 2020, all right in the middle of the coronavirus pandemic. So, of course, Zack Snyder got a chance to put this whole film together, and out it came back, fast forward to March of this year, 2021, and it's fantastic in my opinion. But there was a couple parts in there that gave me it's kind of a letdown, a little bit, because why would you do that? And I'll get into that. So going into this, there were things I liked, and there's things I didn't like. I'll just go back and forth about that, or things I didn't get. For one, the 4:3 aspect ratio. I know there's gonna be somebody here in the comments who are gonna say, well, James, it's because of this and that. Bullshit. A 4:3 aspect ratio is something for a CRV television. That makes it, I watched it, I dealt with it. I just didn't understand why, out of all the films, because there's several films that have regular widescreen, and sometimes sometimes it'll fill or it'll be a widescreen top and bottom bar. I just didn't understand 4:3 aspect ratio. My only guess is it'll try to be different. That's fine with that. There was stuff like that, but that's I don't understand. But still, the story got stronger as the film progressed. I loved they felt they gave it continuation from Superman, Batman into this movie, where it was directly right there, boom. Superman. These are spoilers, by the way, guys, just so you know, these are spoilers. Superman dies, his scream, activates, his scream across the world activates 3 mother boxes, and that's pretty much how things get started. I loved the whole focus on a lot of the characters' backstories, for example, things going on in Themyscira, where one of the mother boxes were, over in underwater, when Aquaman, and a mirror down there with one of the mother boxes. Of course, you got Earth with Cyborg. So there are a lot of filled up backstories on the characters. Got more Cyborg. The battle in Themyscira for one of the mother boxes was freaking awesome. I love that. It was you got Themyscira without Wonder Woman, and I enjoyed that. There was stuff as far as the Atlantis fight. They're trying to defend Atlantis, along with the mother box from Steppenwolf. Which, by the way, Steppenwolf was Steppenwolf on steroids, if you think about it, because that was one hell of a thing. I loved the Steppenwolf villain in the in the Zack Snyder Justice League. Like, the Steppenwolf in this was like so yoked up on steroids and everything, and sometimes he had an interrogation device that came off, like a little spider, which made me think of the Starro character from the first appearance of Justice League, because as soon as I saw that little like sort of like starfish like thing going on his face, I thought Starro. And if you're a DC fan, you would think Starro. And I haven't really seen many people think about that, because it was pretty damn close. If it wasn't, but that was pretty cool. Let me see. There were some pretty cool Easter eggs. There was Ryan Choi. If you guys don't know, Ryan Choi as the Atom. I'm gonna be all over the place a little about this, because this is still fresh in my mind. I saw this movie twice already. Because I just wanted to make sure I took everything in. You had a better fleshed out version of Cyborg. I honestly don't think Cyborg needs a solo movie. He needed this movie, in my opinion. And because Cyborg is a guy who's pretty much he's like the guy for like the Teen Titans and such. So if there's a solo movie involved, you want a Teen Titans thing going on. So I enjoyed like them going deeper into a Cyborg movie, which that's the thing that bothered me about this movie a little bit, was I know they had to stretch it out to get everybody's backstory. And I think a lot of that 4-hour stretch was having to deal with a lot of, like, with an exception of Wonder Woman and Superman, a lot of catching up to all the other characters in the movie. Because if you look at it, like, I don't want to compare it, but if you compare back to like the Avengers, before the Avengers movie came out, you had a lot of backstory of other characters you were familiar with, like Captain America, Thor, Iron Man, even the Hulk had one movie. You still had some kind of backstory to have an idea of who they were. And I did, like, in the Joss Whedon one, we obviously didn't get that, but they had to fit all that in this 4-hour film. That was one of my things about this. This movie I felt like should have, like, if they did something like that, as far as doing, like I say, like an Aquaman solo film before, along with that Wonder Woman solo film before, or along with, like, hell, a Batman solo film, which was announced and it never happened. It was supposed to happen. There would have been more. Oh, hell, The Flash, which is constantly delayed. The fact they made 2 Justice League films before one Flash film should tell you something about how long this film is. It shouldn't be this long. It should be, in my opinion, this movie should be a 2.5-hour movie. 3 hours, maybe tops. But, you look at other movies like, say, Endgame and Infinity War, and yeah, they were about 2.5, 3 hours movies. And the reason why this movie is a 4-hour movie is, like, it's at home. You can watch it at home. It's like a mini series. It's great. You had an opportunity to flesh these characters out. With this whole pandemic, we can't go to the movie theaters, and they're not going to put a 4-hour, movie in theaters. The best they're going to do is a 3-hour movie. I mean, hell, you had a lot of 3-hour movies that are out there. Dances with Wolves, Titanic, Avengers Endgame. Like, that was one of those things where I was kind of like, let me check my notes here. That was one of those things where I was kind of like, if they could have just done something to make that work leading up to Justice League, you wouldn't have such a long movie. And I'm fine with the 4-hour film. I never experienced a 4-hour film. I sat through this thing twice. But yeah, that's the thing that was really scratching my ass a lot. Like, I love the Wonder Woman scene, I think it was a museum or whatever. Like, that was crazy when she was doing the whole blocking with the, with their cuffs, and there was a machine gun thing, and I thought that cool. And then also, it wasn't much of a surprise to see her fly, and I love that. I mean, I love to see her, fly with the bomb and throw it away. And I felt like that part was just slightly 2 or 3 minutes too long, but it was still a great scene. But yeah, I mean, I enjoyed that scene. That was a great scene. God, I'm not nitpicking too much, but still, I bitch about the fact that we didn't get enough Henry Cavill as Superman. Because you pretty much had Lois Lane basically through the movie just kind of like doing her own grieving thing, which is fine because, she lost somebody she loved. And that was understandable. What I didn't understand too much was some of the things that I didn't like Zack Snyder cramming in. Like, there's some parts, like, they could have been crammed in some other parts differently. And I'll get back to more of that in a moment. Martian Manhunter. Spoiler. Martha Kent comes up to Lois and says, pretty much, baby girl, you got to go to work. You got to go and just go. You got to get out of town or get outside and go to work. Yada yada yada. And it turns out to be Martian Manhunter. That was the only purpose why he was in there. He sat on the sidelines when everything was falling apart, just to tell Lois Lane, baby, you got to go to work. And it's like, come on. I like Henry Lennox, the actor, as Martian Manhunter, doing that character. I just kind of wish they found a way to incorporate him a little bit more than just telling Lois, you got to go to work. It kind of helped because, yeah, it was the reason why she went back to the memorial, which, going to the memorial, if you guys didn't know, another Easter egg, besides Ryan Choi, being the Atom, I think it's the second Atom, if I recall, was, if you guys blink and miss it, Jimmy Olsen was in that movie. I'm not sure. Call me a DC fanboy. I knew Jimmy Olsen when I saw him. He was over there at the memorial as a cop, and I thought, man, that's pretty dope. I was like, is that Jimmy? That's Jimmy fucking Olsen. It's crazy. So I really enjoyed that part. It was a cool little Easter egg they put in there. I like the Flash better. Like, Ezra Miller grew on me. Even the costume grew on me a little bit more. Yeah, he's a little goofy. Like I said, I think we would have had less backstory of the Flash, if there was a Flash movie before the Justice League came out, the Zack Snyder Justice League. But it's been in production hell for so long that, like I said, it's been in production hell for so long that there was 2 Justice Leagues, made already. And it's just, I just don't understand what is the problem with that. So that's too much. That's neither here nor there. It's kind of cool seeing Gardner Fox's name on a truck, though. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, Gardner Fox, his name was on a truck. That was dope. I liked that they brought Iris West in there, instead of just putting her on the trailer for a second and, you never see her in Joss Whedon's Justice League. Yeah, I love to see Iris West in there. That was pretty cool. Ezra Miller, give me the Flash movie. I'm a big fan of the Flash. It was one of the first comic books I collected, and for me, I want a Flash movie with Ezra Miller now. Like, I love Grant Gustin as the Flash, but give me an Ezra Miller solo film. I thought he did a great job. Hell, and he had purpose in the movie as it went through. But yeah, as far as like Henry Cavill, man, I needed a little bit more Henry Cavill. It happened. Even though he came back into the movie with an hour and a half left, I was like, okay, running out of time here. Tick tick. But Henry does a great job as Superman. He is Superman. That guy is Superman. And I love the scene they still had in where he came back, by way of the mother box, and he fought Aquaman, who keep in mind, he never seen Aquaman before, never seen Cyborg before, never seen the Flash before, but he knew who Wonder Woman was. But they had that whole reason to fight, and I love that. It was cool seeing like the whole fight there, and hell, I forgot what issue it was, but I think it was a Superman issue where the Flash hits Superman with superhuman speed. It's a Silver Age issue. I forgot. I think it's 234, Superman 234. I'm a nerd, but that fight was great, especially with the whole when Superman saw the Flash running right by him in the middle of the whole speed and everything. And I was like, that's cool. And then of course they make Batman like the Joss Whedon Batman, which I was kind of like, man, good. I'm perfect with that. I'm glad I didn't have the "Do You Bleed," line in there. I'm glad that was out. There was what else was there? There was some stuff, but it was kind of cool seeing Superman about to go over to Batman to kill him, and everybody was trying to stop Superman, and that didn't work out because everyone's getting their ass whooped. And if it came to it, Superman would have probably killed Batman. But yeah, I wasn't down with them I wasn't down with them all calling him Clark out loud. This flying guy who happened to look like Superman, and people kept calling him Clark. I was like, But no, what else do I got here? Yeah, I thought it was pretty cool to get him back in the black costume. I like the black costume better. Yeah, I just kind of wish it didn't have to be so, I guess, considerably late in the game here. I mean, I love how they got him in the black costume. He is off and running. He's like, hey, everybody, I know you guys now. And, he wasn't as goofy as a Superman was back, with the Justice League Superman. Going back to villains. Darkseid. I love Darkseid. I hope we see more Darkseid down the line. I was hoping to see more Darkseid at the end of the movie. Like I thought, he was gonna show up somewhere and maybe jump through that whole boom tube, but all we got was the whole eye fuck session between Justice League and Darkseid, and it's cool seeing like everything else as far as Granny Goodness, which had no lines, and I was kind of all right, that's cool. It was a big tease for me to see that, but I wanted to, I wanted something there. And Ray Porter did a great job with the voice of Darkseid. And the thing is, here's the thing. As far as my idea of the whole Justice League and whatever happens in the future, I really want I think if you think about it like this, Marvel has Kevin Feige, and we always wonder in the DC EU, who do they have? Who's their Kevin Feige? In my opinion, I think their Kevin Feige is Zack Snyder. If you let Zack, if Warner Brothers, if they would, which they probably won't, let Zack Snyder have complete control of the DC characters in Warner Brothers, I think you would have a better universe there. Because they were always wondering who's going to be the guy who's going to be the Kevin Feige. I think Zack Snyder is that Kevin Feige, and I'd say give him the reins, because we got teased a lot with the whole Darkseid thing. I mean, Darkseid was just basically there. I mean, he's there in the flashback scene, which is great, which leads me up to this other thing about, can we get Green Lantern? Isn't he part of the Justice League? Can we get somebody? I mean, I know there's probably no way to put him in here after this whole version, but I think the one thing that really bothers me, despite this film's good, I liked it better than Joss Whedon's Justice League. I think this movie still suffers from a questionable script. I think you guys should have put Green Lantern in here besides the flashback, and hell, Kilowog was in, was in one part, but a dead Kilowog, and I get frustrated. This twice over frustrated where I see the Green Lantern ring. That's great, but give me Hal Jordan. What is wrong with getting Hal Jordan? Dude, what is wrong with getting Hal Jordan? Hell, he's not even on this picture. That's funny. A Hal Jordan Green Lantern. I mean, I need that. If the excuse is too many characters, well, tell that to Martian Manhunter, because they put Martian Manhunter in here, and it just drove me insane. But yeah, I mean, I love Darkseid in a couple scenes. It's a shame they didn't have him involved against the Justice League. They say it. I mean, they teased it for basically another film, which I hope. Honestly, I really hope that we see Zack Snyder take over the DCEU. Either do that or don't do it anymore. Just leave this whole thing out. But there's a concern. This film, all the way to the end, was, it was good near the end. And I say that when I say to the epilogue, because it had everything going all the way to the last 15 minutes. If it ended, I would say my review for this is a CGC. It would have been a CGC 9.6, but the problem would have had it the last 15 minutes of this movie brought it down to a CGC 9.2. And the reason why I say that is the last 15 minutes with the whole nightmare thing really bothered me, because the way the movie was going and working its way towards the end, and it was Superman, about to, Clark Kent about to turn to Superman, fly away. I thought you should have ended it right there. But no, they said, nope, we're going to do a little bit more. And they did the whole nightmare sequence, which I was like, oh, fuck, man, really? The whole Superman lost his shit because of, Lois Lane, which I'm sure that would happen at some point. But, I mean, I didn't need all that whole thing. I didn't need Jared Leto in here at all. I didn't need Mira talking about, you know what? When I see him, I'm going to stab him with this, stab Superman with this trident because he, killed Aquaman. Give me a fucking break, Mira. You ain't stabbing shit, all right? I mean, come on. You're stabbing an olive, for crying out loud. You ain't stabbing fucking Superman. But, yeah. I mean, there was Deathstroke. It was weird seeing him side by side with Batman. Also, just as weird seeing Jared Leto's Joker side by side with Batman. They're kind of going back and forth. And don't get me wrong, I like the banter between Jared Leto and Ben Affleck, which should be in a solo Batman movie. It's not. And it really bothers me where it's like, why don't we have this? I mean, like, I know they have another Batman movie coming out, but it's not too late. Do another Ben Affleck Batman movie with Jared Leto as a Joker. Just make it happen. I mean, a lot of people give Jared Leto a lot of shit, and I understand it. It's understandably so, but I just really think that, those two have a pretty good chemistry, and you want to see what's going to happen about that. I'm tired of getting teased with this whole, I killed your boy Wonder, and this whole he killed Harlequin or whatever. I want results, man. No labor pains. Show me the baby. But like I said, if you have cut that out, and hell, you could have cut the whole Martian Manhunter part out too. Even though it was a good scene, they could have put that in the middle of the movie or somewhere in the movie at some point, and had a reason why he didn't have to get involved with the whole thing with Steppenwolf and the team. I would have understood that. But yeah, this movie is a CGC 9.2 for me. It's a great movie. I loved it. It's way better than Zack Snyder, Joss Whedon's Justice League. I don't think it's the best Zack Snyder movie. I love movies like The Watchmen a little bit better. Like, that cut was awesome. That's a hard one to get away from me. But yeah, I mean, if you cut out those last 15 minutes or the last 10 minutes with the whole nightmare scene, I would have said it was a way better film. That's the thing that really bothered me. Like, and of course, there's a couple other things. Like, editing issues sometimes really bother me. Like going back to the beginning of the film where Superman dies and all of a sudden, boom, Batman's over in the snow going looking for Aquaman. Or there was a scene involving tea where pretty much Alfred and Wonder Woman were having a thing about tea. And they talked like they knew each other very well. And then after the whole thing, and it wasn't just that. It was, he knew her pretty well. He also knew Aquaman, Flash. They're all there. They know each other in those scenes prior to the Superman scene where he came back. And then when they came back after getting their butts whooped by Superman, it was like they just met Alfred. And I thought that was like an editing miscue right there. And I looked at that twice and I was like, wait, he just met these guys? Like, what the fuck? This is weird. And yeah, I mean, and if you cut out that last 10 minutes, I would have said this movie is close to perfect. But it wasn't. And I still enjoyed it nonetheless. But that's about it, guys. I'm rambling. I just want to give you like my review of the Zack Snyder's Justice League. I hope they keep Zack Snyder around and let him have full control. If they let him have full control, I think chances are you could see a better DC EU, because for one, I still can't get past Birds of Prey. Suicide Squad, they said it is supposed to have a director's cut, the David Ayer cut, but that hasn't been announced. And Wonder Woman 84 was kind of like, eh. So that's my feel, guys. I think, if Zack Snyder stuck around with Warner Brothers and took the reins of that entire universe and handled it with no studio interference, things would be better. But that's it, guys. You know the deal. I don't think I'm missing anything else. Be sure to like, comment down below, subscribe, and let's hear your opinion in the comments. I'll talk to you guys later. Peace.